Hello, hello, hello. We're back. It's week 34, Fantasy Outlook. We had some technical problems and some scheduling issues last week, but this is going to be the final episode for the season, as it is the last week of the season for fantasy purposes. So I just want to take this moment and thank Derek, and I hope you guys who actually watch appreciate his time and his knowledge. And, week 34, Derek, all you.
So, like Sam said, I appreciate being on here this whole year. Just being able to spread the fancy knowledge. Finding those extra players, help people get up in the standings, all that good stuff. We do got one more week left. It is a single game week. Every team plays once. They call it the decision day, whatever. But as we're doing this, there's actually a team playing right now for week 33. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going right to week 34. So far this year, I've already passed my season total from last year. I did that 2 weeks ago. So if you've played for multiple years, as long as you're making progress in the points, you're good. But let's move on to the schedule for this week. Like I said, one game for every player. I think everyone plays on the same day. Let me check that. Yeah, everyone's playing on October 25th, so we're just going to go down the line. Your transfer 25th is a Sunday, by the way. And all your transfer will be due at 5 o'clock with the start of Columbus and DC United. So let's start there with Columbus. You got Kai Kamara. You always got Kai Kamara. 22 goals this year. Possible Golden Boot winner. Him and Jovinko are going down to the wire. They've both had hell of a great seasons. Uh, Columbus is still looking for playoff position. They're going to go at this. Same for DC. They're playing at home. You can give me a goal for Kai Kamara. Ethan Finley, always a good option. Federico Higuain has played really well of late. Those are the main three you want from this game. Moving on, Montreal and Toronto. These two teams, rivalry game, both in the playoffs. They may see each other in the playoffs. They're going to go at it. They really are. Buy Jovinko if you don't have him this past week for whatever reason. I don't think I bought him because of something about being with Italy. Either way, he scored. So, of course he did. Jovinko for Toronto. Pretty much it. No other players on there. Montreal. Piatti's back. He scored the, what should I say it? Disappointing goal for us. It was a hell of a goal for Piatti, but it was very disappointing for us to see him do that. But for your fantasy team, it's always good to see Ignacio Piatti playing well on the road. That's something he has not done well at all this year. One thing he has done well is play well at home. And with him and Drogba, you can play them both this week and feel very confident about that because Toronto's defense is, let's face it, still shit. They're still shit. I think they've tied us for most goals allowed. We've only allowed one goal apiece in like the past 6 games during this entire winning streak, and Toronto's finally caught up to us in goals allowed. So that's bad for their defense. That's good for your fantasy team. Pick up Piatti and Drogba. New York City versus New England. The homer in me really wants New York to win this game so we can catch up to New England. Because we need to make up that 9-goal differential. There's really no one I'm going to pick from this game. If you really want Lee win, you can. New York City's been useless for fantasy purposes for like the past 20 weeks or so, outside of David Villa. Lee win if you really want him. Other than that, I'm avoiding this game. New England looked like garbage at home this past week to Montreal. They couldn't complete a pass. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. Then you got Piatti scoring. New York's already beaten New England at home this year. 2-0. That was like the second week of the year. Still, I'm not expecting much from this game. Philadelphia, they've thrown in the towel. Don't even touch their players this week. But Orlando. When was the last time I said Orlando City players were a fantasy value? Yes, you look at Sam's head. It's been a while. He's shaking his head. It's been at least 10 weeks since I've said that. Outside of Kyle Laren, maybe. This week, I feel confident playing Laren, Carlos Rivas, Yeah, look at Rivas' stats. They're not pretty, but he's been making some great goal-bound chances for Kyle Larin. Him and Larin have played really well these past few weeks. If Rivas goes any more than 60 minutes, I'm fully expecting an assist at least from him. Hopefully he finds the net for you. But he's put these bonus points in the past few weeks. He's been getting the assists, and he's only owned by 0.3%. So if you want to play him, if you want to have that little risk factor in it, the differential, go for Carlos Rivas. Same thing with Darwin Sereni. They played really well of late. Our El Salvadorian national captain, how underrated can he be? He's been one of the better defensive midfielders in the league since coming in, like, I think it was 6th week of the year. Once, we had all that international break shit, played against Montreal. He had that bad game. Pretty much ever since then, Darwin Serrano's been on fire. Not really for your fantasy purposes, but for Orlando City, he's been a rock back there. And he could always provide an assist, or, he can pop up with one of his speculative goals. He has 2 on the year. So, feel confident with Kyle Larin and Carlos Rivas, and Darwin Serrano if you want that little differential for it. Chicago versus New York Red Bulls. I'm not really sure what to think about this. Last time they played, this was a goal fest. I think it was like 3-2 Chicago, something like that. It was about 8 to 10 weeks ago. But New York, for whatever reason, they do not play well in Chicago. So outside of Sasha Kljestan, I'm not really sure I'm going to have any Red Bulls this week. Kljestan has just been too damn good over the past 10 to 15 weeks to pass up. Too damn good. He had a little bit of a subpar week this week. 10 points in 2 games, but it's still 5 points a game. That's better than a lot of players you're seeing out there. It's subpar for Kljestan. Let's just say that's how good he's been. Moving on, Dallas versus San Jose. Dallas is going to look for the Supporters Shield. They pretty much just need a win for it. I think their goal difference is New York's goal difference is superior. Either way, Dallas needs to win for Supporters Shield. And they're playing San Jose at home. San Jose is going to fight for the playoffs. I expect this game to be wide open. Both teams it's going to have goals. It's going to have a lot of goals. Mauro Diaz, always a good decision. He's had 20 points this past week in double game weeks. 20 points for Mauro Diaz. He had a goal this past week. He's a really good player. Pick him up. Fabian Castillo. And pretty much... Oh, I forgot. My steal of the week last week. You remember that. Jesse Gonzalez, right?
I retweeted that.
16 points this week.
Hey, and Dallas is, as far as MLS app says, Dallas is tied with Red Bulls for the Shield, and they have Red Bulls on top of Dallas for goal differential.
That's what it was. I knew one of the team had like an 8+ goal differential on the other. But this past week, Jesse Gonzalez had 16 points, 2 clean sheets. 2 clean sheets, and that was exactly what I said he'd be. Thanks, Sam. I mean, a giant steal for y'all this week at 4.4, and he's going to be a giant steal this upcoming week. I also had Matt Hedges on defense. He had 14 points this week. By all means, if you want to play more than 2 Dallas players, do it. Do it. I may have 3. I may put Mauro Diaz in there and just go for it. Because they're on fire. I was expecting Dallas to tail off like they usually do. Never happened. They're going to win the West. They get 1 point next week. They're winning the West. Actually, no, I think they already did because LA lost to Portland.
They are 6 points up in the West, so they've won the West.
Yeah, they won the West because LA absolutely shit the bed in the last 25 minutes against Portland. I'll get to that in a minute.
They have 57 and LA has 51. So even if they lose and LA wins, they win the West.
Very impressive season by the Texans. Very, very impressive. MLS Cup dark horse, maybe? I mean, I know the West is full of good teams, but that's something we got to see with FC Dallas. Then we got Portland versus Colorado. Colorado is shit. And Portland's playing at home. And Portland just put a 5 spot on LA in LA. Yeah. In 25 minutes. LA's up two. Shit, what was it? It's 1-0 Portland. No, 1-0 LA. Portland scored. LA scored, and then like Portland scored 4 in a row, something like that. I don't know. Either way, it was. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Portland's last 25 minutes, but they're playing Colorado at home with nothing to play for. Absolutely nothing. Portland's still trying to clinch playoffs, I think. If Fernando Adi starts, he takes their penalties, and I feel confident in starting him. Here's the thing with Fernando Adi. He either scores nothing or he scores a lot. He's pretty much Kyle Larin versus New York teams. He would either give you 0 or give you 2 goals. Either way, I think it's more likely he scores 2 goals this week. Feel confident with him. I'm pretty sure he's a differential pick. I don't have the ownership percentage in front of me, but Adi, Valeri, Liam Ridgewell if you need a defender. But especially Adi and Nagby, you can plug them in your team. There's just so many options this week, guys. I mean, you really can't go wrong this last week. Shit. And 3 more games left. Seattle versus RSL. Your normal Seattle players: Martins, Dempsey, Stephen Fry if you still have them. And for RSL, Javier Morales is always a good decision, but Seattle is a very tough place to play. I don't think I'm going to play Javier Morales this week. And then you got SKC versus LA. 2 teams still fighting for playoff positions. SKC is trying to move up. LA is trying to get that first round bye. This game is in SKC. I'm expecting a couple goals, maybe like a 2-1-ish type of game. But, your normal players in this game are going to do just fine. Just know that LA is not a good road team. So, Bauhaber, Dom Dwyer, Christian Nemeth, those kind of players, those are the players you kind of want this week. If you really want to play a Robbie Keane, no one's going to tell you no. The guy has 17 goals this year. Tied with that guy, Kyle Larin.
That guy.
Yep. And last game of the week, and will be the last game of the MLS fantasy season. Let me fucking phone. Is Vancouver at home versus Houston. Houston has nothing to play for. They've nailed it in. Vancouver still fighting for playoff position as well. Just behind on goal difference, something like that. Either way, Vancouver's just not a good fantasy team. They're a great team, but they're just not a good fantasy team. Their best fantasy option absolutely fell off the map. Octavio Rivero, like I said a couple weeks ago, had 5 goals in like the first 5 or 6 games and has had 6 goals the rest of the year. So I'm not really confident in any Vancouver player, even though I think they'll pretty much win the game. Number 1 player this week. Ooh. Should I go with someone other than Jovinko? I mean, Jovinko.
So Jovinko's number 1, and who would be your number 2?
I'm expecting Montreal and Toronto to have goals in it. I'm going to say Drogba.
Okay, there you go.
I'm expecting it to have a lot of goals.
And is it unlimited transfers this week, or was that only last week and the week before?
No. Thank you for mentioning that. There is actually no unlimited transfers this week. Last week of the year, you want to try and get points ahead, but don't go too crazy. I may be taking a -8 or -12 just to get in some players I really want. But other than that, no unlimited transfers. I mean, what do you want to do here? So, but yeah, this Sunday's it. This is the upcoming decision day. As far as I'm concerned, you can take your place in the Orlando City League and add or subtract 5, and that's probably where you're going to finish. Right now, I'm in 26 in the Orlando City League. I got 2 players playing right now, but that was I'm fine with 25th after the way I started this year.
That puts you about 19 spots behind Chris.
Yeah, damn you, Chris, man. You freaking beating my ass. Chris had a great start. That's the thing in MLS Fantasy. You can't start off poor. Chris did not start off poor. He whooped my ass.
Well, And speaking of that, next year we will have a Fan TV fan league. Derek will be the host of that and try and garner some interest. And I believe that, just a little peek ahead, we will be doing a little preview show to get your roster started for next year. So
That's
for
the
those,
key.
of you who are out of it and not having fun, you can get some info at the beginning of next year as well. So
That's it.
Derek,
I'm very excited for next year and MLS fantasy, especially with the way MLS is now, with their new DPs and just able to attract the talent they do. I'm very excited for not only the league but for MLS fantasy next year, just being able to pick these players.
so you got anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you all for listening to me this year. I will be in Philadelphia this week, so if you have any questions for me, you can always tweet me up. Uh,
At Rays1299.
Other than that, we're gonna be kicking some ass this week. Let's go get that 9 goal differential we need to make up. So, other than that, thank y'all. You have a great year. We'll see y'all next season.
All right, so just one last thanks from me to Derek. And if you guys, like you said, got any questions, get at them on social media. Peace out.